Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ybot. Welcome back to Civilization 6. You may notice that there is no sound in this video. That is because I screwed up in my XSplit. They have a noise cancellation setting that's in beta. Turns out the noise cancellation was set to cancel out my voice, which made it sound very quiet and kind of bubbly and digital distortion-y like so. I'm going to try to commentate this on a Friday after a hard day of work with a good amount of alcohol in my system. We'll see how it goes. What could possibly go wrong with me talking with a little bit of alcohol in my system for 43 minutes? Let's go. Let's see here. So, at the moment, we are at war with Gandhi. That war is kind of winding down. He's got some stuff over on the coast, but the only major, he's only got like 2 major cities that are really in our territory that I really care about. So we did just manage to capture one there. Yeah, I think we captured a couple of them last episode. I'm not entirely sure because at this point, honestly, I've finished the series. I've moved on to some other stuff. So, I'll be re-recording this and 3 other episodes. And we'll see how this post-recorded commentary stuff goes. Okay. So, I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at here. So, it's trade routes. I'm checking appeal? Maybe? Yeah, I could be looking for, I was at this point just kind of cluing in very late in the game. I was trying to go for a cultural victory here, and I kind of clued in that, you know what would be really good for my culture victory? The tourist traps there, the resorts. But they have to be on a coastal terrain that's not tundra, and have breathtaking appeal or higher. Now they double the appeal in term. They take the appeal of that area, multiply it by like 2, then convert that directly into tourism, which is pretty damn good. And our tourism is ridiculously good here. However, this playthrough has, honestly, it's been riddled with bugs because of me starting this on. Yeah, I started it during the Australia summer patch, and I ended it on the spring patch, and that caused quite a few things to be wonky. Which I suspect. I know for a fact the Warmonger penalties are way out of whack because in my new Let's Play, I'm just like. I can't get any situation where I have no Warmonger penalty for going to war with somebody. It just doesn't happen. So, there's that. But also, the cultural victory is one peculiar thing. Now, please keep in mind as well that I'm at, like, I'm into, like, turn 350 territory, which typically is when one or more AIs actually win the game with the space victory. At least on Deity. Now, that hasn't happened yet, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. I suspect it's a combination of some of the stuff I've been doing. Combination of sabotaging every spaceport that I can. Like right there, I just tried to sabotage another. Oh, it's Baghdad. I remember that one. Yeah, I've got 2 guys in there. So that spy failed, but the next one should succeed. I think. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll both fail. And for this right here, I'm just having my guy go and steal some money because, like I said, I've been busy for the past few games here, for the past few sessions of play, and I've actually managed to destroy almost every spaceport that I can think of. Now, one problem with this is a bit of a stopgap measure. You need to follow it up with some sort of military action if you really want to stop a space race victory, because I do believe that say, I don't know, say Monty. Hypothetically, if Monty was to repair one of his spaceports and he put himself back on track with a Martian colony component, rather, then he would actually be in exactly the same spot. He wouldn't have to start over. So, eventually, if they're, say, like one turn away, they repair it, and they turn over and get that last component, which, by the way, most of them are actually on that, I think. I believe it's... I don't think that India is, but I believe that Monty and I believe that Arabia are both on their last component. So, kind of playing things on a bit of a knife's edge here, trying to grab that cultural victory while almost secondarily going for a domination victory. Now, if this game was set to domination victory, I probably would have steamrolled it at this point, because, I mean, I have a massive army. But also, the AI then would have gone for a higher military itself. So, the reason that they're focusing more on the space race victory is because, of course, it's enabled. It's actually an interesting idea. I might try that in the future to see about Mr. Monty. Maybe take space race victory out of the picture and then have Monty be in there. I wonder how he would play. I wonder if he'd be if he would be compulsively spamming spaceports as much as he does. Who knows? I'm gonna have some beer. All right. Also, thanks to our conquest of India, India's built crazy amounts of airports, which I believe was updated in one of the recent patches to encourage the AI to do so. And as a result, we have massive quantities of aerodromes equipped with airports, which means we can send our guys all over the place. Got a wonderful flexible system where we can just airlift guys in one turn all over the damn place. I believe Saladin has the same thing, so if we get into his territory, then we could do even more airlifting. Now, if we were to, and I think Monty as well, but if we went to war with our other neighbor, Victoria of England, I don't think that would go quite as well. Because I believe she's kind of a little bit backward. You see, Saladin's been busy conquering people, just like me. So, the only difference is that he started with Catherine de Mer of France being nearby, who is got a bit of a reputation at this point for being a pushover. So yeah. Catherine's kind of a pushover. He gobbled up all of her lands to the point of we never actually met her in the game. I'm kind of hoping here that maybe I'll be able to get down to Paris and liberate Paris. Or at least, not Paris, but maybe one of the original French towns. That'd be cool. Then throw Catherine back in, and poor Catherine, she'll be back in the Renaissance era, I do believe. Because she has not been doing any researching. So if she is brought back to life, she will be way, way back in the game. So, anyway. Just trying to take a look here, seeing if we're doing anything specific. Future civics, very glad they included those finally. And we're looking to swap out some things, maybe not. Yeah, I think we're happy with the policies at this point. Unfortunately, because I'm doing the commentary and movie maker, I can't actually get a full 1080p vision of what we're doing here, so it's kind of small and pixely. So, for example, I can read the name of Sydney, just barely though, so any of the text here that is any smaller than that, I can't really see much of. So, anyway, we got a naturalist. It'd be nice if we actually do something about that. I believe I'm discussing the various yields of that. Oh, and by the way, I'm still super pissed at stupid Gilgamesh for putting that damn national park there. I'm pissed to no end about that, because I wanted that uranium. But it's under a national park. I want to go drilling for natural resources in one of our natural parks. Is that so much to ask? I mean, that conundrum totally doesn't happen in real life, right? No? Well, not with President Trump, at least. Anyway, let's keep going here. So we are just going to be bombarding this city. I think it's Osaka. Yes, it is indeed. Once again, having trouble reading things. So we've got plenty of stuff here. We should be able to take this down in a couple of turns, and we'll get another airport too to boot. Now that tank's in a bit of trouble. We're pillaging the mine because we want some more science, and I don't think we quite have everything yet. So, yeah. Always good to get a little bit extra science. Yeah, we're trying to get some stealth tech, which ironically gives us like the B-52 instead of a proper stealth fighter or a stealth bomber. Why? I don't know. They didn't think that one through very well. I'm kind of hoping that in some... yeah, it would actually be really nice if they had some sort of expansion to this. They need another modern era, I think, quite frankly. Or at least they need to do more with the modern era. Because at least with certain things. Although in Civ 5, they did like World War I bombers, World War II bombers. Yeah, they could do that actually. World War I bomber, World War II bomber, and stealth bomber. I'd be down with that. The B-52 is kind of an odd choice, but why not? It's something a little different. They've been used since the 1950s up until present, so... at least I think it's the 50s? Maybe the 60s? I don't know. Really long time. Actually, just give me a sec, guys. I'm going to pause this for just a sec. Alright, sorry about that. So, I'm back now. For you guys, no time will have passed, as usual. Anyway, we're just bombing the crap out of Osaka. And we're going for the right side of the promotion tree, the side that deals more so with... yeah, deals more so with defending the artillery and also attacking cities, I do believe. And... yeah. So at the moment, we're just at war with Gandhi. Yeah. Got amenity problems in almost all of our cities, but I did some looking into it either in this episode or maybe a future one or a previous one. I'm not sure when, but I've actually been like, I was actively looking for war weariness the entire game, and I didn't really see any, so that might have been another glitch. Who knows? Who knows, guys? It was a very odd game, this one. It was fun, but it was odd. And in hindsight, I really should have frickin' re-rolled here, because a Tundra start, even with all those wonderful hills around Canterbury, that was a pretty shit start, to be honest. Starting My Australian capital, not on a coast tile, very little food surrounding it, and a strong neighbor like Gilgamesh to the east. It was a terrible start. I did manage to get some cities down, but it was a pretty shit start. Anyway, I believe I was trying to get some sort of resort down there, and I was just discovering that it lacked the necessary appeal. Oh, by the way, just in case you guys don't know how appeal works, if I haven't explained it before, I've probably, let's be honest, this is video 34. I probably explained it a number of times. But anyway, one of the reasons why Australia's unique building provides production is because their unique ability is so reliant upon appeal. And mines actually decrease appeal fairly significantly, so if you wanted to build a national park around some mountains, but they had some foothills, and just outside of the proposed park, there was, say, a mine or something, that could reduce the appeal to the point of where a park couldn't be put down. Also, if you had a hill that was on the coast, like say you've got a bunch of desert, there's a flat area where you want to put a resort, and then there's another area just south of it that has some hills. You put a mine on those hills, all of a sudden you won't be able to build that resort. So appeal is, it can be raised up by certain things. I believe like one of those is definitely coastal terrain, so on the game where I'm playing as Victoria right now, it's on island plates. I should be able to drop the resorts wherever I want once I get to that point in the game. I'm not there yet, but yeah, that'll be interesting. Also, her museums can hold like 6 friggin' artifacts, which are ridiculous, so if I want to take another stab at culture victory, then Victoria is definitely the best bet. As for Australia, though, they're pretty good. I mean, they're, at least at accruing culture, they're the only ones, to the best of my knowledge, that can actually do anything with theater districts without wonders. Wait, no, that's not true. Japan's also really good with their theater districts, and obviously Greece as well with the, oh my goodness, what the hell is the name of it? The hill one, the Acropolis? Anyway, culture district on the hill. The Acropolis, that's the one. And we finally got ourselves some stealth tech. Once again, guys, I apologize. You won't be able to hear any of the quotes because I muted the audio, because otherwise you would hear my garbled voice over or under the commentary. And that would just be not fun. So things have just been muted. We're going to continue to spam out workers like crazy. Try to improve some of these cities. And yeah, pretty much just keep going on. Keep plugging away. And the city should actually be able to fall this turn if we have as many shots as I think we do. Yeah, I do believe that. City is going right down. Yep. Oh yeah, we can. We may not. Okay, it doesn't look like. Oh, we can? This is the problem here, is my computer gets super laggy late game when it comes to that, so sometimes I'm not sure. And we could liberate it if we wanted to. That actually wouldn't have been a terrible idea if I had liberated it. We would get a 20% production boost for like 20 turns after that. So that would have been decent. And now we're trying to peace out with Gandhi. Now here's something that's interesting here. Seeding is actually bugged. So I'm trying to make him seed everything. But, or at least I think seeding's bugged. I'm not sure what happens with it because I don't know. I'm going to actually look it up now. I've got my phone here. I'm just going to take a look at it. Seed City, Civ 6. Let's see what it yields. It yields out-of-date information. So, the out-of-date information we've got from right after the game launched in October is that if the cities are not seeded by somebody, then we run into a situation where they just stay occupied permanently. But in this game, that has not been the case. I mean, we will peace out with Gandhi. I'll just throw up my hands and just peace out with him at some point, and we'll see that that's not the case. So, yeah. Let's take a look here. Let's see if we can find a more recent post. No. I think it's most recently with the spring patch that things have changed. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure what I'm talking about here. I think, yeah, I'm debating seriously on going to war with him, and I think I might actually do it at this point. Saladin has been an aggressive little bugger the entire game. Also, the AI has been the AIs have been choosing suboptimal governing policies. Like, I think Monty had a democracy at one point, and then he switched over to like Merchant Republic or Monarchy or something weird. It didn't make any sense. And right now we're going through leaders. I unfortunately don't remember exactly what we were doing at this point. Maybe just debating on who's going to be our next target. Let's see. Alright, so we're looking for new things to sabotage or to do with our spies, and we're choosing to just sabotage the industry. That area makes sense. Okay, and now we're trying to figure out what to do with this guy. Maybe send him to the fishies? I think we're trying to get some more resorts up there. Oh, excuse me. I think that's what we're trying to do at the moment. Oh, and Rindu. Right, I was trying to talk about this in the original commentary version about that Enrindu city. So, got a little story for you guys. Not very long. I have been playing Empire at War for the past few weeks as my Throwback Thursday video. And it turns out one of the frontier worlds for the Empire, like the edge of Imperial space as it will, is world called Inrindu. I believe it's actually the homeworld of Governor Tarkin, at least in the expanded universe, the Legends lore as it's now called. Which, by the way, Empire at War is entirely Legends at this point. I mean, they have all kinds of stuff that's not actually in there. They have the old version of Grand Admiral Thrawn, which who knows if he's even alive by that point. He is back in the canon, but he's in the Rebels series. They may kill him off at the end. That would be extremely wasteful if they did, but that could happen. But anyway, the Inrindu planet is located near Tatooine, so I found that very interesting. That it's actually a Sumerian city name. Or at least that's what it is in this game. It could be, it could still actually be a city somewhere in, I don't know where, Iraq, Iran, somewhere in Mesopotamia. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool that, hey, the city is named after a planet. And what are we doing here? We're gonna build a nuclear device in our capital or research Operation Ivy? I decided against spaceports there, and yeah, we're just gonna go for a nuclear device. And I think we might build a backup one here as well. We are kind of hurting for production in our biggest cities, though. Although production at the end of the game, in my opinion, is a little ridiculous still. Like, the amount of production you actually need to generate to get a space race victory is kind of absurd. I don't know. There's a lot of issues with it. So here in Delhi, which is still under occupation, we're repairing the spaceport very, very slowly. Once again, I believe once I finally peace out with Gandhi, whenever that happens, I don't cede Delhi, but we get all the benefits as if we had ceded that city. So, not entirely sure what's going on with the seeding mechanic at the moment. Also, I just want to take a quick look as to where we are in this. Oh. Ooh. So we can declare war of territorial expansion, and that is what we are doing right now. And once again, I believe that that is a war with no warmonger penalty because... yeah. Because the game is bugged. It should have a significantly... or it should have a reduced warmonger penalty, but we should be getting, like, egregious warmonger penalties at this point. Considering how much land we've taken. We used to be just that tiny little bit over in the corner there, and now we've taken over all of Sumeria, most of India, and we're just starting a war with England so that we can get a better angle of attack on Arabia eventually. So yeah, at this point we're just sending some stuff in and yeah, just bombarding from where our artillery is as best we can. And I'm sorry guys, I need to take another break here. I will be right back. Alright, and once again, sorry about that guys. So apparently taking a nice little walk in the rain in the springtime when you have allergies is a terrible idea, and I was getting a little stuffed up. So that's pretty much what all these pauses are, is me getting stuffed up and having to take a wee little break. And we're trying to peace out with Gandhi again, and now I'm just saying F it. He wants tons of money if we seed stuff. So, Yeah, and at this point I'm just saying, F it. It's not worth it. Like I said, I do believe eventually I just, like, peace out with him. And I'm just like, I don't care if you cede any of the damn cities or not, because I know how this works. I know I get to keep them anyway. And then I get full control. So, yeah, I think seeding's a bit bugged, at least in this patch. I'll have to take a look later on. I have to play a very violent game, possibly drop it down a few difficulty tiers. If I'm doing it myself, I'll drop it down a few difficulty tiers. If I'm playing it for you guys, well, we'll see. I can beat the game. I could, given enough time, I can definitely do a domination win. Like, for this one right here, if time was not a factor, that would not be a problem. Because I can fight more efficient battles with the AI than they can. It's just a matter of getting to the same tech level. So, yeah. Getting to the same tech level is always the tricky part. Although on my new playthrough again, I'm noticing that playing on island plates helps out a lot because, well, Monty and Saladin can't go and gobble up all the land the way they do here with, like... I'm just actually going to count the number of dots here that Monty has in a second. Like, I know I have more at this point, but... like, Monty gobbled up a ridiculous amount of land here. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... and probably like 13, 14 for additional cities. Which I guess isn't too bad. But when you consider that a lot of those cities are... that probably most of those cities are above 10 pop, some of them are even up to 20 pop, then that becomes a bit of a problem. And that takes the already overly powered... Deity AI and just gets things going a little ridiculous. Like, look at some of the cities that Saladin has there. I think he has even more than Monty, and a lot of those cities are in the 20s. So, yeah. For Gandhi here, he used to be the same problem, but then I took all of his good cities. Which, if this game goes on long enough, that's what I plan to do to Saladin and Victoria. And eventually to Monty as well. Anyway, I'm just going to have some more beer here. Almost done that one. So, yeah. I think anytime now I'm going to peace out with Monty... and I'm kind of just, at this point, just trying to figure out who my next target's going to be. Because I'm at war with Victoria. I want to gobble up most of her land. At least most of what's left of it. But, yeah. And Kyoto should go down this turn or next. So it's a major victory... oh, we're not even done bombarding yet, damn. Yeah, this guy should be decisive victory. We've got it. Cool. We could liberate the Japanese capital if we wanted to, because that, once upon a time, was the Japanese capital. It's another big opportunity to utilize our bonus that I'm going to throw away because it just is counterintuitive. So it's too good of a city, even though most of it is pillaged. What I really should have done is, like, burned everything to the ground, salted the earth, and then gave it back to Japan. Been like, hi Japan, you can have your capital back. If I want a domination victory after all this, I'll just declare war on you again. And now our builders arrived in the tile where I thought I was going to build a resort. Turns out the appeal isn't high enough. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on right here. I'm looking up. Probably having inverted keyboard issues, because that's what I like to do. And then I'm figuring out there needs to be breathtaking appeal. If it's not breathtaking appeal, then it's not going to be good enough. And what are we looking up now? Oh, there we go. There we go. I found it. I figured out what the problem was, and I don't know. Maybe I didn't find out what the problem was. Regardless, the appeal level's too low. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Now I'm just trying to... I believe I'm now just trying to figure out what I can do with these guys. This one we can't... It's a hill, so we can't build a resort there. And my beer is gone. And it looks like we're throwing some stuff down on the entertainment complex there. That's something we've had to start investing in this series, just because we have this massive sprawling land empire. Let's see. He won't even seed one city. He won't pay us anything. Yeah. Gandhi is an irritating little shit here. It doesn't make any sense. He has like... I believe it says that his army strength is either 4 or 41. Regardless, our army strength is 2,200 and something at this point. It is literally to the point of, if I put forth any effort whatsoever, I could take him and his 5 remaining cities and just remove them. I'm sorry, 6 remaining cities, and remove him from the planet entirely. But the AI refuses to peace out. So, yeah, I think there's some stuff that needs to be worked on there. They need to, they need a system that's a bit similar to War Score, quite frankly, from, like, there is War Score in this game, but in Civ Beyond Earth, you know, that game that nobody plays except for me. I know as a fact because it's like me and one other person advertising in the YouTube subreddit for that game, and that's how I've gotten some of my biggest Civ videos, is by virtue of nobody else actually playing that game. But yeah, anyway, in that game, they have a war score system where eventually it gets to a point of where when you're ready to negotiate, then they tally up the victories, the losses on both sides, and the side that is basically engaged in the more effective war gets better spoils. Now this gets to be broken as shit once you get to the point of you're just kicking the piss out of an AI player, because you can basically... What I like to do with that system is I like to just take all of their big, impressive cities. That adds to my war score. And once I've gotten all the targets that I care about, I go to the peace screen and I get served up a nice little buffet. I can take technologies, I can take cities, I can take money or other currencies. In that game, they have diplomatic capital, which is used for a variety of things. Hopefully, we'll see some of those changes kind of filter and sift into one of the Civ 6 expansions, because that stuff was actually pretty interesting. I liked it. I know that a lot of you guys didn't enjoy Beyond Earth necessarily, but there were some good mechanics in there that would fit well into this game. Obviously, moving aquatic cities, probably not going to be in the Civ series. But some of the other stuff, like the agreements and the advanced diplomacy system, I was hoping, guys, I was hoping at the beginning of this, when Civ 6 came out, that they would copy-paste the diplomacy system. The game would actually be significantly better if they did that, because in that one, you got to choose various agendas, and you bought them up with the diplomatic capital currency. Anyway, I'm sending out spies at the moment. I'll tell you guys more about the diplomacy system in Beyond Earth in the next commentary, if I remember. I'm going to take a fairly large break between the two of them here, because just talking to movie editor, not quite as enjoyable as actually doing a Let's Play or even making a video. So I think this one is almost done. I think that's almost all she wrote. Not entirely sure. Just taking a look. Not quite yet, but we're getting there. So yeah, we're just dealing with our spies. I think we're going to try to set up Unrest. That one hardly ever showed up before. They make some changes now. It requires a neighborhood. So terrorists are bred in the subdivisions. That's what this game is teaching us. But yeah, if you have a neighborhood, you can, if they have a neighborhood, rather, then you can start inciting revolts, which is kind of cool. I personally think that that should be done in the city center, but whatever. So, yeah. Do I have anything to add to that? I'll just quickly finish off my story about Beyond Earth and the war score system. Basically what happened in that game, I would kick the crap out of them. They would have no military. And then when I go to the buffet of spoils of war, I would take all their cities. They'd be reduced to their whatever their capital was. And that was it. So anyway, that's going to conclude this episode of my Let's Play as Australia. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.